Baruch Hashem, we begin again. 5 minutes of Bitachon, never more time appropriate to work on a little bit more connection, a little bit more living with Hashem. As we learned yesterday, the Gaon taught us that what does it mean to be be'emunasa yichya, to live with emunah, said the Vilna Gaon, that was Bitachon. And we concluded yesterday with an incredible mashal from Rav David Sutton over here, the author. And to play out the mashal one more time with different characters, maybe you'll hit home a little bit harder. Yesterday was the surgeon, the experienced surgeon, and the medical director telling him, I command you to call me if you have an issue. Similarly, one might suggest it's a parent. A parent has their child. The child goes out to hang out with a group of friends. The parent's a little bit nervous. He knows who they're going with might not be the most desirous. And they say to their son, you should know, if you need anything, call us. And as the kid's walking out, they tell him, they pull him over and they say, I don't care what time it is. It might be 2 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning. I command you, if someone's maybe driving after drinking, if maybe something else is going on that you're not comfortable with, I command you to call me. The chayva, the mitzvah of bitachon. It's not something that's just brings yishuv hadas, which it does. Not just something that will allow us to live life in a very complicated, confusing, concealed, and difficult world, which it does. But yesterday in chapter 1, the Bais HaLevi taught us that bitachon is a chayva. It's an obligation that we have to realize Hashem is commanding us to call out to Him, to live our life with that bitachon. And now we continue into the second chapter. And the second chapter really follows seamlessly from the last words, which were what? Aveira gedoylahi. If you're lacking in bitachon, it's an aveira, very strong words. And continues the Bais HaLevi, va'aveira zu. And this sin, the sin of not living, feeling that Hashem is holding our hand, atzma goyrim loy lipol. It causes him to fall, which, if we think about that for a moment, it's a sin. Okay, I did something wrong. Says the Bais HaLevi, this sin not only is a problem, but it's going to pull us downward, propel us further into the issues that we're trying to avoid. And he quotes a pasuk and he continues, because if a person is fearful, the fear itself causes him a snare, a trap, an issue that wasn't there prior. Let's repeat those words and understand them. There are problems we have. We're faced with challenges. We become fearful. The fear, when not dealt with appropriately, as he quotes on the bottom over here in note number 5 from the Stipler, that of course, there's natural fears. Of course, there's natural things that will cause us problems. But the question is, what do we do when that fear comes upon us? Do we control ourselves? Or do we allow the fear, the anxiety, the problems to just wash over us and wash us away? If one does, then the fear itself causes more issues, says the Bais HaLevi. Because you're afraid, it creates new issues. And he proves this from the pasuk that teaches us, that what? And this is really the balance that he's teaching us. And in note number 4, he elaborates from Rabbeinu Bechayai that bitachon, living with Hashem, is a fortress. It's having the security guard on both sides of us, their guns held in hand. There's nothing to be afraid of. We're locked in the tower. No one could harm us. That's bitachon, guaranteed protection. There's nothing to be afraid of. But the moment that we don't have bitachon, we're walking out of that tower. We're walking into enemy lines, and even worse, we're bringing the enemy, we're bringing the issues onto ourselves. Says the Bais HaLevi, this aveira causes more issues than B'siyata Shemaya. Tomorrow, we're going to elaborate in the third chapter. What does it mean that these Aveiros, that the lack of Bitachon causes more issues, causes more problems, causes us to spiral downward, unfortunately, without Bitachon.